Football is back, baby. Football is back. What a time to be alive. Can somebody please tell me why is it so much of a love fest for the New Orleans Saints going into the season? Because I don't get it. I just don't see it. Why is it so much of a love fest for the Saints? I mean, am I missing something? I mean, Sean Payton's gone. The head coach is gone. They got a new head coach, a defensive-minded guy, first-year head coach, and the defense, why it may be solid. But on the offensive side of the ball, you talking about Jameis Winston, Mr. 30 for 30 himself. He can throw TDs, but damn, y'all know he give up them picks real quick. And I just don't see it. I mean, it's not like they're in a division that's just terrible. I know a lot of people are writing off the Atlanta Falcons, saying they're the bottom of the barrel, but it's a lot of unknowns because they could be a dark horse. And then you got the Carolina Panthers. While they got all of these weapons and a solid defense, it's up to Baker Mayfield, and he might step up to the plate. And they may do some things. And don't forget that Mr. TB12 Tom Brady is still the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Bucks, who still reside in that same division. And I know for one, I'm not betting against TB12 no more. And speaking of Sean Payton, you heard it here first. Sean Payton will be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys in 2023 because Dallas, they're going to have an underwhelming season and miss the playoffs yet again. And then Jerry Jones is going to get rid of Mike McCarthy and he's going to bring in Sean Payton. Dallas has too many issues on the line and the wide receiver core is just deaded other than CeeDee Lamb. And then they got to compete against Philadelphia Fly, Eagles Fly. I mean, Jalen Hurts has a new weapon and A.J. Brown on the other side of Devontae Smith. They're going to get it done in that division. But the sexiest division of all of football right now is the AFC West. I mean, if you look at it from top to bottom and align the quarterbacks, you got Pat Mahomes with the Chiefs. You got Justin Herbert with the Chargers. You got Derek Carr with the Raiders. And don't forget about Mr. Russell, last name Wilson in Denver. Now, this division is so locked and loaded that three of these teams could very well make the playoffs. I love the Chargers this year. People are not even talking about Khalil Mack on the other side of Joey Bosa, not to mention Derwin James is healthy and that defense is solid, and you know what kind of weapons they have on offense. But my sexy pick that I feel with my gut is the Las Vegas Raiders. Josh McDaniels is going to bring his magic to that offense, not to mention they got Devontae Adams and all the weapons with Waller and Josh Jacobs, but nobody's talking about Chandler Jones on the other side of Max Crosby, and that defense is going to be legit. While three of them teams probably make the playoffs, I love the Raiders in that whole scenario. Another sleeper team that nobody's really talking about is the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, for one, they had a solid team the last couple of years. They were just missing the quarterback. Now they got one in Matt Ryan, a proven veteran with some weapons around the solid defense. Plus, that division is suspect. But talking about suspect, I mean, I really hate to doubt Bill Belichick. I really do. But I look at that roster and I just say, who the hell is going to score the football? Who's going to score for them? I hate doubting Belichick, but who's going to score? But I know a team that just might score a lot of touchdowns this year, and that could be the Miami Dolphins. Oh, the Miami Dolphins got some sexy toys. And you know what? The city of Miami is going to be on fire this year when it comes to football because don't forget, these Canes is back in the building and back on the map. But the Dolphins just might do some things with Tyreek Hill, Chase Edmonds, and if it's Tua time, it could be go time for the Dolphins. But yet the standard in that division is still the Buffalo Bills until somebody proves me otherwise. Speaking of standards, I know the Pittsburgh Steelers always has high standards. I mean, Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record since he's been the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I'm afraid this year that trend might come to an end because that offensive line sucks. And speaking of sucks, Baltimore, can you just pay Lamar Jackson to get it over with, man? Why are you going to have this man betting on himself? Just go ahead and pay him and get him some weapons. But a team that does have weapons is the Cincinnati Bengals. And as long as they don't have that Super Bowl hangover, like a lot of teams that lose the Super Bowl tend to do the next year, they'll be all right and they'll run this division just fine. But speaking of Super Bowl, why is nobody talking about the Super Bowl champs, the Los Angeles Rams? I mean, they lost a couple pieces, added a couple pieces, but they still should dominate in a weak NFC. I mean, they'll have to contend with the San Francisco 49ers, who is solid every which way around on the team, except for the quarterback position. And as long as that's not a train wreck with Trey Lance, they might do a little dance, but I still like the Rams. And speaking of ranting and raving, Aaron Rodgers, I can just see it now. You can give it to about week 10, week 12. He going to be pointing fingers talking about he ain't got nobody to throw the ball to and everybody dropping the ball. And then he going to be looking up in the standings at the Minnesota Vikings, who is going to take that division. Now, I hate giving Super Bowl predictions, but being to this before week 1, I'm just going to throw two of them out there at you. I love the Buffalo Bills, even though the AFC is stacked, and I know I talked about the West, but I just think the Buffalo Bills can get it done, come out of the AFC, and get back to the Super Bowl. And the NFC is a little down this year, but like I mentioned before, Tom Brady is still the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to come out of the NFC because as long as TB12 is still throwing the ball, one thing's for certain, two things for sure, I ain't betting against TB12 no more. Just saying.